I am closing up my message series in this video right now that you're watching on the acronym CALM, C-A-L-M. How do we stay calm during the markets, during the volatility of numbers and data, the bank statements that come in the mail, or oh, well, I used to make this much money and now I make this much money. And my husband or my wife used to do this and now she's doing this. Or, just the data, what I call data, this thing that we attach so much of our identity to, so much of our worthiness to, so much of whether or not we've been successful. Are we enough? This feeling of safety and just identity. We've attached so much of ourselves to these numbers, to data. And so the C stands for consciousness, wealth consciousness. You are wealthy and you are rich. How do we work on that new muscle, regardless of data and numbers and titles and accolades and achievements and the label you're wearing or the school you go to, etc., the school your kids go to. And then the A is for how are we abundant and wealthy regardless of those external things in our lives, and like on a consistent basis. How are we doing that? And letting go, the L, the C-A-L, the letting go is for how do we no longer, how do we do the work and realize letting go is work, and that we're really reprogramming ourselves when we're triggered in those moments, and we're getting conscious of the unconscious, to not go there, to not go to a lower place and a lower vibration, but to then go and stay grounded and stay rooted. For me, it's God. For me, it's like that is my eternal safety. It's eternity, and it's my conscious God self, and it's my soul self. It's not my culture self. It's not my stock market self. It's not my bank account self or my title self. And that's been work for me. I'm continuing to work on that, like of letting that go, letting it go, and detaching from all these external things. And that's where my power and my worthiness is. So the last letter, are you ready for it? That begins with an M. The word is moment. Moment, right now. How do we really be present? And and again, it's a tool to combat the uncertainty, to combat the nervousness, to combat the anxiety and the fears, is to really double down on this moment right now, right now. And all we have really in life, like really living your life, the reason why we want all those numbers, and we want those numbers, that net worth and that bank statement, to be this much and this much and this much and this much, is because we want to have more freedom. We want to enjoy the moments of life more, right? You want to get that vacation, and you want to be able to afford that thing that you want, that makes you feel more successful, because that's what culture tells you is successful. But the moment, that is where, like, that is living life is in now. Because if you're worried about tomorrow all the time and the what ifs, then you're really not living your life. So you're already losing out, because you're losing out on the moment. It's stealing. The future and the fears are stealing from your life, which is right now. And if you're thinking about the past, oh, I should have just bought more, stock there. I shouldn't have bought that stock, or I should have listened to blah, blah, blah. It is, then you're just sort of shoulding yourself, and you're punishing yourself. And again, that's also stealing from the present moment, the moment which is now. So really, instead of getting pulled forward, or pulled back, we want to be we want to be present in the now. The now is where it's at. And if, like, in this moment where I just feel so alive and full of life force and full of love and community, and when I reflect on what I get to do for a living, when I reflect on just turning 50 recently, and all the friends and all the people that I have in my life, and that have just shown up and sent messages, and when I look at my children, and I just dropping them off and just loving second and third grade so much, and just relishing, like eating it like a dessert. If you love cheese, if you love chocolate, it's just like relishing on it and allowing that to get you a feeling so full, that today, that in the moment we find eternity, we find bliss, we find peace. And that to me, my friends, is wealth. That to me, if you can find that, if you can find a way to be present in the moment and bliss and joy and gratitude in the moment and let that fill you up, that is the jam. That is really that is going to be impenetrable in the stock market, the net worth on your bank statements, and whatever thing that you're striving to achieve right now, whatever benchmark or milestone that you've been hustling for, whatever thing that you've been gripping on so hard to and just trying to solve and figure out, like your identity and like your enoughness is not connected to that, and don't let that steal from right now. So we got to stay conscious to be in our abundance by letting go, which is action, which takes work. It takes meditative mindfulness work, um, so that we can be in the present moment. That, my friends, is staying calm. CALM, conscious, abundant, letting go, and moment. Staying in the moment. That's how we stay calm in the volatility of life.